The Cash and Valuables in Transit video has been developed to help cash and valuables in transit employees understand the risks they face when going about their daily work. The program provides some practical advice on operational security and demonstrates best working practices that, if followed, both individually and as a team, will minimize any risks and maximize safety for you, your customers, members of the public, and your consignment whilst you're operational. There are many jobs that contain little or no risk, but jobs that involve handling money, off licenses, bookmakers, post offices, and even bus drivers are more at risk of being robbed. Cash and valuables in transit companies remove some of the risk by transporting cash or valuables for these businesses. At the end of this program, you will be more aware of the operational risks that affect your daily work. You will understand typical cash and valuables in transit procedures, know about equipment and terminology, and understand practical ways in which you and your colleagues can reduce the risks. Above all, you will understand that reducing the risk depends on teamwork, common sense, and good working practices. Security starts before you leave home for work. For your own safety, you should not wear items that can identify you as a CVIT employee when traveling to work, or make sure that they are covered up so that you don't draw attention to yourself. Be conscious too of vehicles and people, and try to vary your route to and from work. Above all, you should report anything you think is unusual or suspicious. At the start of your day, you should check and test all equipment you will be using as you receive it.
Morning, Rob. Morning, Caroline.
Could I just have the tacos for today's trip,
sure.
please?
Serviceable equipment will enable you to carry out customer services quickly and efficiently,
Britannia Hotel, yeah.
and can also reduce the risk of loss or injury in the event of an attack.
Guys.
Okay.
Morning, guys.
Before going mobile, you should review your planned route
Bear in mind that the roadworks are still up in the centre of town.
and discuss any concerns you have with your manager. It would also be useful to agree a plan of action with your partner to deal with any potential problems you have identified. Drivers have a legal obligation to ensure that their vehicle is roadworthy. Using an unroadworthy vehicle can lead to a heavy fine or even imprisonment. Complete your routine checks and pre-trip servicing following your company daily checks and defects sheets. Checks should include any vehicle security equipment such as alarms, cash transfer systems, immobilizers, or access restriction devices that may be fitted to the vehicle. If your vehicle is fitted with a tachograph, it must be working properly and the calibration in date. During your walk round, check there are no sharp or loose objects. If any are found, they should be removed or made good. Check for existing damage, particularly to steps, handles and doors that may prevent or delay access to the vehicle. With the assistance of your partner, check all lights and adjust your mirrors. Inspect tyres for correct pressure, wear or wall damage. Remember, your tyre wear indicators are 1.6 mm for vehicles under 7.5 tonnes and 1 mm for vehicles over 7.5 tonnes. And check rear outer markers as appropriate. Don't forget to check your water coolant level, battery, oil and hydraulic fluid levels, and for any fluid leaks. Check your fuel level and that your vehicle equipment and controls are all working. If applicable, drain the air tanks. In addition, check that locks, interlocking door systems, interior lights, communication systems and transfer hatches all function properly. Position dummy bags and ensure that emergency exits are in the closed, unlocked position. Finally, Complete your company daily vehicle checklist and report any defects. If you drive a commercial vehicle over 3.5 tons, you must use a tachograph to record your hours and type of work undertaken on a tachograph chart. If you drive a vehicle fitted with a tachograph, you are subject to EU driving regulations. You are responsible for completing the tachograph chart. Defective tachographs must be reported immediately. You must not carry more than 21 completed tachograph charts, but you must have with you the chart for the last day you worked and sufficient charts to cover your current work period. Check the company procedures. If you drive a vehicle over 3.5 tons, your driving hours are also regulated. You can drive for 10 hours on any 2 days in any week, but you can then only drive for 9 hours on the remaining days. You must not drive for more than 4.5 hours before taking a 45-minute break from driving, or 6 hours worked when the 4.5-hour continuous driving limit is not reached. An example of this is multi-drop deliveries. In this case, the 45-minute break time can be taken as 1 15-minute plus 1 30-minute break, or 3 15-minute breaks, or 1 45-minute break. On a 10-hour driving day, you will need to take 2 45-minute breaks. Remember, drive time is when the vehicle is moving, not stationary. Your working days, however, are also subject to statutory rest periods which you must take. The statutory rest period restricts the amount of other non-driving work you can do in any day or period you work. Attacks on branch or depot secure areas have happened, so don't become complacent, even if your branch does not hold large amounts of cash or valuables. Attacks have been carried out during loading operations because much more cash is exposed whilst this is happening. The vehicle could also be intercepted and the secure area or any persons exposed could be attacked. Stick to your entry-exit procedures. They are designed to protect the branch secure area, loading bays and staff at times when the gates and shutters are in use. When entering and leaving a loading bay or yard gate, stop your vehicle approximately 2 meters from the gate or shutter. When the gate or shutter is open, proceed with caution. Once through, stop until the gate or shutter is closed before driving away. Remember, this procedure applies on all other CVIT company premises. This entry and exit procedure ensures no unauthorized vehicle is able to enter and gain access to secure areas or loading vehicles. When driving away from the branch or depot, look for the unusual. Criminals may be watching vehicles and people entering or leaving a branch or depot to establish routines. Anything you see that is suspicious must be reported and recorded using your company forms and reporting procedure. When you are out on the road, you must be constantly on your guard. Don't set patterns or routines that can be used against you, or take unnecessary risks by making unscheduled stops for tea or toilet without contacting your branch or depot and informing them of your location. Company policy regarding stops is clearly defined in your operational orders. Unscheduled stops can be dangerous and can put you and others at risk. When you do take a break, park the vehicle where it can be easily seen. Inform your branch depot of where you are. If it is necessary for you or your partner to leave the vehicle, follow your company vehicle entry and exit procedures. Never park in pub or public car parks for any reason. Instead, select a more public place, preferably opposite or outside a police station. Don't become complacent. Remain vigilant and maintain communications during the stop. Wear your seatbelt. It is illegal to drive any class of commercial vehicle without one. When traveling in traffic, drive defensively. This means staying within the speed limit and anticipating the actions of other road users in sufficient time to take avoiding action. Take account of the weather conditions and adjust your speed and driving accordingly. Be vigilant when approaching roadworks, contraflows, diversions or accidents. Keep risks to a minimum. Avoid driving too close to the vehicle in front, and in slow traffic, stay a car and a half's length from the vehicle in front to give yourself room to maneuver. When approaching traffic accidents or roadworks, don't get boxed in. On a motorway or dual carriageway, if traffic slows to a halt, move to the near side lane. The hard shoulder or a verge could provide you with an escape route if necessary. Beware of soft verges. A heavy armoured vehicle will sink in. You should also avoid travelling in the outside lane of a carriageway where a central barrier can restrict your manoeuvrability. Approach crossroads and junctions with caution and be prepared to take evasive action, as they are a good place for robbers to block you and intercept your vehicle. Constantly check your mirrors, making a mental note of vehicles driving close but not overtaking. Be careful of vehicles joining from slip roads. If in doubt, slow down and give way, but maintain a safe distance when doing so. When stationary, monitor parked vehicles, particularly those that have people in them. You may see them later in a different situation. When stopping or parking, always leave enough space between you and other vehicles so that you can drive out of a situation if necessary. Watch what the traffic is doing. You may get prior warning if your vehicle is about to be blocked or disabled. If you are suspicious of anything, report it to your branch and complete your suspicious incident report form while details are fresh in your mind. Always assess the suitability of parking spaces before using them. Try to park close to the customer's premises, but look for a place you can easily maneuver the vehicle in and out of that can't be blocked, and where traffic wardens or the police won't try to move you on. Try also to find a place where you will be able to observe the courier's route to and from the customer's premises. Avoid parking in public car parks. If you must use one, make sure it has more than one entrance or exit. You will then have the opportunity to take avoiding action if you're attacked. And park in a prominent position. Don't tuck away in a corner where an attack can be made unobserved. Both crew and vehicle are more at risk whilst a service is being carried out than at any other time. The most vulnerable time is when one of the crew is out of the vehicle. Before the courier leaves the vehicle, the crew should carry out observation checks on the customer's site entrance to assess the area for any immediate threat. Before the courier dismounts, the first consignment should be ready. If you are the courier, wear your helmet correctly and make sure that any communications and other equipment you use is working properly. Take particular care when getting in and out of the vehicle, and under no circumstances dismount with your helmet in hand to put on when you're outside. When you dismount from the vehicle, carry out observation checks in the immediate vicinity and of your route to the customer's premises. If necessary, do a pre-delivery reconnaissance or a dummy run. Secure carrying containers should be used in accordance with your company procedures. Secure carrying containers include smoke boxes, die boxes, alarm boxes, die cassettes, and simple lock boxes. Do not carry more weight than recommended during a cash transfer. Remain alert and vigilant when you are on the pavement. Make a mental note of activity around you and try to assess potential attackers. Parked vehicles with occupants or persons standing around may be innocent enough in a busy street, but exercise caution if they are in your vicinity. Unless you are carrying out a high-value service that requires an additional escort, you will be alone once you leave the vehicle. From this moment on, the way you act and behave could play a part in deterring an attack. So it is in your interests to be alert and act professionally at all times. Your purpose should be to carry out the customer service quickly, safely and securely. If done efficiently, you will spend the minimum amount of time outside the vehicle and minimize risk to yourself, your colleagues and the public. Don't forget that other people could get caught up in a robbery, so your actions should take account of public safety as well as your own. You can be as vulnerable on a customer's premises as you are on the street. In the confines of a building, this may not be apparent, but not everyone in the building may be there on legitimate business. So maintain your vigilance at all times. Customers or their representatives will expect to see some identification when you arrive at the point of transfer. Your CVIT operator license shows that you are a registered CVIT operative and must always be worn. However, the customer will want to see your company ID card to confirm that you work for their contracted service provider. Company ID cards should be worn or carried as instructed by the company. In public areas, only lift your visor very briefly for the purposes of identification if asked by the customer to do so. Never remove your helmet unless this is authorized by your company. Finally, the authorized collector's card is your authority to collect from the customer and must be produced before any transfer is made. The card must be in date and is used in the transfer process according to company procedures and receipting systems. During a delivery, make sure that you are dealing with an authorized person before handing over any cash. Doing so will avoid any embarrassing and costly mistakes. Remain alert at all times and complete the cash transfer quickly and safely. This will reduce opportunity for a robber to act. When carrying out a collection or delivery, never carry more than the insurance limit allows. Throughout the collection or delivery, the driver or custodian should continue to observe the courier's route and watch for his or her return. The courier must be identified properly and in accordance with company instructions before being allowed back onto the vehicle. Try to stay calm and don't resist. Adopt the EVP, eyes, voice and posture method. Try to avoid direct eye contact or adopting an aggressive stance, as this may incite the robber to act violently. However, any description of people or vehicles used in an attack that you can give to the police after the event may lead to an arrest. When describing people, try to include their gender, age, build and height, clothing, distinguishing features, ethnic appearance, hair color or style, and direction of escape. During CVIT operations, whether in the vehicle or on foot, you may come across a situation that you regard as suspicious. Don't ignore this. All suspicious incidents, however small, should be recorded, noting the day, time, persons, and/or vehicles, descriptions, incident, or circumstances. Incidents, however small or insignificant, may have a bearing on past or future ones and should also be reported when they happen to your control room or to the department or agency designated to deal with them. Ultimately, if you think you are at risk or have any doubt about the situation, abort the transfer and, if possible, return to complete the service later. On arrival at the branch or depot, stop the vehicle at the gate or shutter. Entry procedures are designed to deter unauthorized entry to the branch or depot and follow the same rules as those used when a vehicle leaves. However, your company procedures may require the courier to dismount from the vehicle for identification purposes and accompany the vehicle through on foot. When in the vehicle yard, vehicle and pedestrian traffic must comply with the branch or depot traffic rules. Reversing vehicles must be guided into position by a competent person, known as a banksman, using recognized hand signals to direct the driver. Using a banksman to assist vehicles maneuvering in the yard helps prevent avoidable damage to vehicles and injury to pedestrians in the vicinity. When you unload your vehicle, keep the number of containers exposed to a minimum during the transfer process, and when unloading is complete, don't forget to get a receipt from the vaults. Check that no valuables remain on board. Remove any litter and personal belongings, and where possible, refuel before parking the vehicle. Finally, complete any documentation and return equipment as necessary, and report any defective equipment. At the end of your trip, you should be debriefed by a member of your management team if it is operationally possible. However, if this is not possible, any information you have gathered or acquired during the day must be passed on. This could include anything suspicious, even if reported earlier in the day, route or traffic problems, equipment or vehicle defects, customer requests or information. Whatever it is, this must be communicated to the right person so any security issues can be dealt with immediately, vehicles and equipment can be repaired or replaced, and customers' needs satisfied. Reducing the risk is about knowing and understanding your company procedures. It's about adopting a common-sense approach to all aspects of your job and being able to work together as a team. Above all, it's about being professional and consistent in applying the security practices that will keep everybody safe: you, your partner, our customers, the public, and not least, your family. If you can do this, robbery in particular will become less of a risk for you at work.